everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. So we are hitting the fourth video in this holiday card making series, tips and tricks, ways to think outside the box and get your holiday card making underway. So today's video is dedicated to using things that are not geared toward the holiday season necessarily, but are for other things. So for example, the first thing we're going to pull out is this die set. Now this die set is called Delicate Leaves. It is not geared towards the holidays at all, but we are going to make it into a holiday card. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out this leaf that I could visualize being sort of a Dr. Seuss kind of Christmas tree. And so that's what we're going to basically make our card out of. So I pull this out. I have some colored cardstock here. I run that through my mini die cutting machine. And then just to give it a little bit of something in the background, I'm going to place some of this blue ink blended right on the card panel. That's going to allow for us to kind of minimize that stark whiteness of the card panel. So then I'm going to take out this adorable font here. This is called the Inlines Alpha and Numbers, and so it seemed very kind of whimsical for me, and I felt like it matched the theme I was trying to go with here for this card. And so I'm going to pull out the letters that spell Merry, and then I do want to talk about this Hero Art scrubber that I got. I really was looking for something like this to help me clean off my stamps very quickly, especially, well, obviously when I'm using a cleaning block, or even if the stamps are still on your platform, it just makes cleaning really easy because it's a handheld scrubber. So I just wanted to throw that in there in case you were curious what that was. I've been waiting to get that. It's been in and out of stock for a while. Okay, let's get to stamping here. So I am going to, well, you can see I just stamped out the M, and then I'm just going to clean that right off on my scrubber. Okay. We're going to stamp this through, sped this up a little bit, but I'm just going to not even worry about if it's perfect or not, because this is card making and it's more about fun than it is about perfection. So I am just going to stamp those right into the Merry. Look how fun that font is. It's so cute. It really reminds me of a kind of whimsical, kind of cartoony look. Okay, so once I get that stamped down, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm really just going to place down my quote-unquote tree, and then we're going to decorate it. So this is I guess you can consider this a clean and simple card, right? This is really fast. It took me hardly any time at all to put this card together. This is definitely a card I would put in the category of mass production capability. It really was very simple. At the end of that, I'm going to take my pops of color in the red glitter and in the gold glitter, and I'm just going to add some ornaments to it right there. And then the last final touch that I'm going to make on this this card here is going to be with some silver glitter stickles. And so I am using the diamond stickles there right at the bottom just to give it sort of an icy look at the bottom of the tree. But then I'm also going to outline the Merry. So it has the outline right there. This is called the Inlines Alpha and Numbers. And so you have that little bit right in the center. So I thought, why not add some glitter? And so that will finish up our first card using non-holiday products for our card making. All right, let's move on to the second one. This is going to be where we are pulling out another leaf from that Delicate Leaves die set, and I'm going to make a wreath. Now I did die cut these through two different hues of green. One's more of a forest green, one's a brighter green, and I did that to allow for a little bit more dimension in my wreath. I'm then going to take to this paper pad. I picked this up. It was a freebie on one of the freebies over at scrapbook.com. And so I pulled out this beautiful red snowflake type of background here. This is probably my favorite from the cardstock. It's so pretty. Also, huge fan of this brand of cardstock, this pattern paper. It's really thick. It's like, it almost feels like 100-pound cardstock. Very, very thick and sturdy. Okay, now this is where it can get kind of tricky. So I say that because you have to kind of overlap your die cuts in a way that forms a circle. If you just kind of linked one to one to one, it would not be a perfect circle. So you kind of have to shift them as you go. But using press and seal to pick up the image or all of the die cuts is such an amazing hack. It really is. And the reason is because once I laid those down, I did not want to have to do that again by removing them all and then doing one at a time. So you do them all at once from the back and then go back into your wreath and look at what is kind of wonky or loose and just go back and place down some glue to get that settled. All right, so I'm going to show you the difference here. So I used some of that red cardstock from the background into cutting my Merry Christmas right there, but I did not like it. It got too lost. It was too dark. And so I changed up the Merry Christmas inside to white. That background is the gold, like that bubble piece of the sentiment. It's gold glitter cardstock, and it looks so much better, I think, with the white. I feel like it really pops right off of there. And then I'm just going to add some foam tape right to the back of my sentiment. I'm going to place down my sentiment, and there you have a pretty much finished card. What I'm going to do next is just add some glitter ornaments, or I guess they would be berries because this is a wreath. And that will finish that card. Okay, let's move into the next one. I'm going to be pulling out this Smiles and Wishes stamp set. This is all about birthdays and emojis and cute little faces here. It's an adorable set. But I decided that, of course, we're on holiday card making theme, so I decided to pull out those circles for a different purpose. I am going to be using my scrapbook.com mat here. This is a silicone mat. I wanted to do some stamping with my stamp block again, and so in order to do that, I wanted a little bit of a cushion on the bottom. Now I'm not going to use my stamping platform for this technique because I'm going to be stamping a lot of these circles, and so that just wouldn't make sense to use a stamping platform for me. I'm going to be using some glitter gold and glitter silver embossing powder, but first I'm going to prep my surface with this anti-static powder tool, and then I'm going to use some sticky ink to get those images right down onto my cardstock. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to be making a background, and I'm going to be using these circles as ornaments. So they're going to be ornaments all over the background of this panel here. Okay, so I'm going to use the sticky ink, then I'm going to pour the embossing powder over, and you could start to see that I have these really super glittery gold circles. I'm going to heat set that with my heat tool. I am working on a silicone mat, so it's okay to use heat on top of it. And then once I get that done, I'm going to repeat the process with the silver glitter embossing powder. And so now you're going to see that I have that as well. So this was a lot of fun. You know, embossing powder is like magic because it just, the beauty of it as it melts, you can see it. And then remember though, if you didn't know this about glitter embossing powder, you don't want to overheat it because you can kind of diminish that glittery look. So you want to do it just until it's completely melted and then stop. Now I'm going to go through with a gold and a silver marker, and I'm going to just make lines as if this is just a sea of ornaments hanging from the ceiling. And this card was very, very simple to do. As you can see, this video is pretty short because this was very simple to do. All these cards were really easy, and so that's sort of why I was excited about bringing this video to you as well, because we have to make so many holiday cards, some of us, and it can get overwhelming when each one is so intricate. It takes so long to make them. So hopefully this series has been helpful in that regard as well. Next one, when we're doing some coloring, might be a little bit longer, but that's coming soon. All right, so now I'm going to take my gold pops of glitter, or my gold pops of color, sorry, in these gold glitter. And I'm going to make these little bows right at the top of those ornaments just to kind of add a little bit of a touch in the silver and the gold. And so there you can see that finished card. And I used the leftover Merry Christmas to finish off this card also. All right, so that'll do it using non-holiday products for our holiday card making. The point to this video, I want to remind you, is to look at what you have and see if you can turn it into something of another purpose, really, because we want to get the most out of the supplies that we're buying. Thanks so much for joining me. In the description box below, I'll list everything I showed in the video in case you wanted to take a closer look at it. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I will also put a link below if you'd like to join my email community list. I send out lots of updates and money savings, tips, tricks, sales, things like that, so I'd love to have you there. Also, there'll be a link for places we can connect on other forums. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the comments down below and in the next video. Bye bye.